Hey everybody, welcome to your weekly check-in for this Saturday, July 11th there. So if you're still here, congratulations, you've made it to the halfway point. So we only got halfway more of the course to go there, actually a little bit less than half there, but 3 more weeks, and it's all done there. Just go over a couple of things here. You should have, if you turned in the first part of your literature review paper, your topic and thesis there and your references, you should have gotten feedback for that now because I posted all that there yesterday. So take a look at that there. Especially be careful to clean up any problems with your references, especially the caliber or quality, because some of you submitted references that really weren't academic peer-reviewed articles. And if you look on the APA Literature Review module on Canvas, there's a page I put in there between the first and second part of the paper instructions on helpful hints on how to locate references. And there's a particular database I send you to there. It's called EBSCO. It's on the library website. And there's a real simple option there to check a box that will locate only peer-reviewed articles for you. So it'll save you a lot of time and effort. So I would highly recommend you to do that in case you've got that kind of problem with your references there, because you do need to clean those up. Also, a reminder that the second part of your paper, the actual literature review itself, that's due, as you can see in the module here, as a reminder on July 21st. So it's a little ways out there, but it's going to come fast because this is a 6-week course here. So remember that there's a complete set of instructions there, including some embedded instruction files. One of the files, that's a Word file you'll find there, has a checklist attached to it. That checklist is just a list of do's and don'ts for your paper. And so please take a look at that before you start writing your paper. You don't want to write your paper and then look at that checklist and go, wow, I got to redo all this, because save yourself a lot of time and effort. Read it ahead of time so you know what you're getting into, and you'll save yourself a lot of trouble and certainly lost points too, because you don't want to have things in your paper or fail to have things in your paper that you should have. So it's important to go over that there. You'll also find there in that instruction Word file there, there's different parts of the paper identified, your title page, your abstract page, the actual review itself, and the references. You'll find some details there around it, but in each part of those instructions there, you'll see a link to that online writing lab, that OWL at Purdue. Some of you may know about that. It'll take you to a sample title page, abstract, sample paper. So take advantage of that so you can just see a working model to base your own work on. It's very helpful to have that so you at least know how things should look. So I'm a big believer in using models and samples, so make sure that you take advantage of that there. And you will find in the instructions there's some detail about how long your paper has to be. You have to have a minimum of 4 full pages of actual literature review content, and then on top of that you have to have a separate title page, a separate abstract page, and then a separate page of references. So you're going to have 7 pages altogether, but 4 of which are the real meat and potatoes of your paper, because that's what you're going to actually, write about. And remember, what you're going to write about are the references that you have, so be sure that you say something about each reference, and don't say things about materials that you don't have in your references. And if you feel you need to add more references or switch out some of the ones you have because they're not working for your paper, of course that's cool. That's part of the writing process, so feel free to do that. Just make sure they're of the academic peer-reviewed research article caliber, okay, if you change any of your references out there. Also there, you'll see towards the bottom of the instructions a note about, or really warning you about plagiarization. I do submit your papers to that Turnitin platform there to look for that, so be careful to avoid just quoting things too much, or just not putting things in your own words, that is paraphrasing there. You'll find a sample file in there about it shows you an original passage of text, and then it shows you plagiarized versions of that text that were supposed to be paraphrased. Then it shows you one properly paraphrased example of the original text there. So that'll help you a lot there. You might be surprised what still counts as plagiarization, because if all you do is just change a few words and put a citation, that's still plagiarization because you're using somebody else's words as your own there. You really have to write things in your own words for the most part, and if you don't do that, Turnitin's going to catch you. So I don't want to see that happen to you. So best thing to do is look at the original source, put it away, and then try to write what you can remember. And if you keep turning back to the original source, it's just too tempting to go ahead and write it as the original source, and you don't want to do that. I mean, every semester I literally get a paper where somebody, all they did was literally change every other word, and Turnitin catches that. So, you know, be careful not to make goofy errors like that, and, you know, because it'll really cost you dearly in your points there, okay? And you don't want to get charged with plagiarization and cheating either, because I have had to do that sometimes too, where somebody clearly submitted a totally plagiarized paper. So just don't do it, okay? You don't want to go through that. So, all right. Let's see what else. Well, you should be working through chapters 6 through 8 at this point there. So I'm really enjoying your posts on the discussion board. Some of you, again, are putting some really thoughtful comments there and some really personal things, too. So I hope the rest of you that are reading those are enjoying that, too, and getting that, you know, class experience. So that's part of why I post those up there, so you get that sense that you would get in a classroom, you know, because we can't meet live and all that together as a group. So keep up the good work with that, and you will open up your next unit, Unit 4, starting on, let's see here again, starting on Wednesday next week. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. That's pretty much everything I wanted to say. If you're able to, please try to join the live sessions that I have on Mondays there. You'll see an announcement about that. If you can't go, you might want to look at the recording of those sessions there, because I do go over some things about the course and some clarification questions that people have, you know, that show up to the meetings there. And remember, you just go to the ConferZoom link on the Canvas course menu there, and just click the tab that says Event Recordings. You'll see all of the recordings listed there by date, and just click the one you want, and then click the format that you want to view it in, you know, text only or audio only or video and audio, whatever you want to do. You may have to play around with some of those to find the one that you want there, and I had posted an announcement earlier in the semester about how that works there, and there is that how to use ConferZoom module there in your modules on Canvas. Take a look at that. At the bottom there's a link to a student user guide, which is very short and very sweet and to the point on how to get to things using ConferZoom. So don't think it's like a 20-page manual. It's not. It's very brief, and it tells you exactly what you need to know. All right, that's everything. So I will see you again next time, and keep up the good work.